Hello everybody, Marcus Godwin here with the Shoom Vremeny Noise of Time blog for St. Petersburg. We are in the field of Mars at the very centre. Here you see the flame to the tomb of the unknown soldier. It's been a very busy and is going to continue to be a very busy time in Russia and in St. Petersburg. We've recently celebrated the summer solstice, the longest night of the year. It never gets dark in Petersburg. This is the famous White Nights season. Yesterday we had the military parade to mark the victory of the Soviet Union over Nazi Germany and the Allies, of course, in the Second World War. This parade was postponed from the 9th of May, which is Victory Day in Russia, is a public holiday, because of COVID-19, as it's become known. We also have coming up a major holiday for St. Petersburg, the Scarlet Galleon, which is basically it's a holiday to celebrate the end of term for school children, especially for school children who are leaving school for good and going on to university or college in the next year. This will be in 2 days' time, and then on the 1st of July we have the very important vote for amendments to the Constitution. So there's really a lot going on here in St. Petersburg at this time. How to say, the Second World War is of course incredibly important for all Russians and all people who were part of the Russian world in the Soviet Union. This is the biggest war that was ever fought so far, and of course it's well known that nobody lost more people or suffered more in this war than the people of the Soviet Union. Followed by China, we should also remember. There are many attempts at the moment to rewrite history into kind of airbrush, slowly but surely, the Soviet Union and the people of the Russian world out of this victory, stemming of course from our usual partners in the Western elite and those who control the Western media, etc., etc. I'm in the process of writing a longer article about what is known as the Immortal Regiment and the cunningness of these changes which Western people are now being bombarded with. And when I was a child, we watched the series The World at War on Thames Television. It was extremely honest about the losses and the price paid by the people of the Soviet Union. Nowadays, I don't know what people are studying in school in Britain or even in France, because my own children left school in France quite a while ago. But it seems that things are changing. Anyway, I want to explain a little bit about the Immortal Regiment. This event also happens on the 9th of May, but has been postponed till the 26th of July, which is Navy Day, the day that Russia celebrates its Navy. So it will be connected there. Here in Petersburg, we're on the sea, we have the Neva River, and there's a major parade of warships and military aircraft on this day. The Immortal Regiment basically was invented by some people from Omsk, the Siberian city of Omsk, about 11 or 12 years ago. And they had the idea, why don't we, when we go to the parade, take a placard with a photograph of our grandfathers and uncles and grandmothers and aunts and so on, who actually fought and survived or died in the Second World War. This idea caught on very fast and spread to other cities. Within a couple of years, people all over the Russian Federation were doing it, and in some other countries that used to be in the Soviet Union too. Then the government caught on, and this was publicized. So now, literally, everyone who can attend attends these marches, holding up placards with photographs of their relatives who were either killed or fought and survived but have now died. As I understand it, that's the rule. Some people I know, I have a friend who has a 95-year-old grandmother who was evacuated from Odessa in what's now Ukraine, but used to be Russia, to Kazakhstan and so on. The people are still alive, they're still alive. So if people are holding up friends of their relatives, they died, either in the war or afterwards. This, in my opinion, is an absolutely inspired idea. It's even, one could say, divine inspiration in the true sense of the word, for many reasons. I will go into this in my long article and let you know when it's published. Basically, whatever happens is because there are many debates in the world and in Russia itself about the Second World War, of course. Why were so many people lost? And many people argue, many people claim that Stalin was a brilliant leader, others say Stalin was a terrible leader and the victory was won not because of him but in spite of him. Others say, well, it's kind of 50-50, and there are many other aspects of this war which remain controversial, and the history before, during and after. What does not remain controversial at all is that the peoples of the Soviet Union won. They expelled the invading Nazi German enemy and other allies from their territory and went all the way to Berlin. And the people who did it are the people who you see in the photographs, are held up by their relatives, usually on the 9th of May, but this year, thanks to COVID-19, it's going to be on the 26th of July. So let me just show you here. We have the flame to the unknown soldier. In the background we have the bridge over the river Neva, and behind me is St. Petersburg Mosque. Very big, very beautiful mosque, finished in 1911. Islam is the second official religion of the Russian Federation. First Orthodox Christianity, then Islam, then Judaism, then Buddhism. Then shamanism is pretty big in some Asian and steppe areas of Russia, and of course there are some Catholics and Protestants and so on and so forth here too. So you won't be able to see it in this video, but behind me is the Petersburg Mosque. Let's pause.